In this video, I'm going to show you how I decluttered over 465 items playing the Minimalism game. So the other day I saw a video from B Minimalista. Could be Be a Minimalista, not quite sure. But anyway, she plays the Minimalist game. So the game was first created by the Minimalists, shockingly, and they created it as a way to gamify decluttering. You can read more about it on their website, I'll link it down in the info. It's simple enough, you choose a month. On day 1, you get rid of 1 thing. On day 2, you get rid of 2 things. Day 3, you get rid of 3 things, and so on and so forth. Then by the end of the month, depending on which month you choose, you'll get rid of nearly 500 items. I'm going with April, so I'm going to aim to get rid of 465 items by the end of the month. Don't know when I'm going to get around to editing this video, but I'm doing it in April. When you're playing the Minimalism game and you're getting rid of stuff, the stuff can be anything. Like B got rid of a bunch of nails on one of her days. So it doesn't have to be always these big significant things. It can be any random stuff that you just don't need anymore. I've already been sort of mentally pinging a couple of things as cullable. And out of those, I already know that some things I'm gonna try and sell, some things I'll donate, some things I will upcycle if possible, and some things will just end up going in the bin. Unfortunately, but it's less of a waste in the bin than it is in my drawer never getting used. Right? Yeah. Yeah. So this will be my first time playing the game, but it is not my first declutter. I used to be a, let's say, collector. I did my first massive declutter when I was preparing to move overseas for a couple of years. And honestly, once I got started, it became easier and easier, and it sort of became addictive. I felt that when there was less clutter around me, there was less mental clutter to go along with it. And that was incredibly addictive. So yeah, I really got into it. I got rid of, I'm estimating, approximately 75% of my stuff. And I feel loads better for having done so. But again, I had a lot of stuff. But in all honesty, these days, I'm not sure that I would actually call myself a minimalist. I think when people hear the word minimalist, they have this very clear idea about what that is. And it's like somebody who has 2 mugs, 2 glasses, 2 sets of crockery, 2 sets of cutlery. Their wardrobe is 5 t-shirts, all in the exact same cut, all in the exact same shade of millennial gray. Probably not too dissimilar to what I'm wearing right now, to be honest. And for a while, that seemed like a pretty cool thing to aim toward. I thought that'd be a nice way to live. But now, honestly, I don't know, I've grown up, I've chilled out a little bit about it. I'm still intentional about the things that I bring into my space because I know that it's also going to occupy my brain. But also sometimes I just buy something because I like it without overanalyzing it. But of course, since I've chilled out a little bit, I think it's become easier for little things to just creep in. You think that you're on top of things and you're very intentional and you're not letting stuff in, but then suddenly you realize you got some crap. So when I saw this, I thought this looks like the perfect opportunity to just have a bit of a reset. And the extra motivation for doing this is that I've got a couple of potential opportunities to move overseas again. And honestly, I love the idea of not being tied down by my stuff. So if an opportunity does come up with not a lot of time to organize myself, I don't want my stuff being a source of stress or anxiety, because if that's what it is, then what is the point? All right. Let's cull some clutter. Day 1, 1 Clinique for Men Maximum Eye Hydrator. So I tried this once before bed, and I found that the pillowcase was sticking to the skin under my eyes. Did I go and throw it out? No. What I did was, I just looked at it in my drawer for a month, and every time I saw it, I was like, ugh, you're that thing that made my eyes sticky. And I didn't get rid of it, because I thought maybe I just put too much on my face and I should try again. So I did try it again just before starting this challenge, and surprise, surprise, the exact same thing happened. So this just took up space in my drawer. I used it twice, absolutely hated it, and now I'm getting rid of it. Day 2, 2 pairs of socks that I always avoid wearing because they're too tight. Day 3, 3 Discovery Garden grow pots. Day 4, 1 old boarding pass from that time that I flew business class, not sure why I kept that, and 3 activity packs from Pokemon Happy Meals. 5, another 2 pairs of socks, and 3 rewards/loyalty cards. Day 6, 1 of my old fobs from the gym, which doesn't actually function anymore, 2 USB flash drives, a lanyard, and a micro SD card and its adapter, which I got off eBay, and turns out they were fake because they don't work. Day 7, 2 of these plastic containers, 2 limited edition Zelda Joy-Cons for the Nintendo Switch, and their straps. Maybe it's cheating, but I'm gonna count that as 4 because technically they're 4 different things, but I won't count the box. And number 7, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Dawn of Ragnarok. I got this on a really good deal, but it's an expansion to a base game that I don't actually own, and I've had it for over a year and still have no intention of playing it, so I'm just going to assume I never will and get rid of it. First week done. Day 8, 1 pair of Nike shorts, 3 hoodies. This black one I've just had for like 8 years, and it's starting to feel like really thin and ratty. It's already too hot for this. So the other 2 hoodies, I'm actually quite fond of how they look, but I've been avoiding wearing them. And that's because, this is really specific, but I don't like wearing any clothing that doesn't have any give to it, that's not stretchy, you know? This is from AS Color, and I absolutely love AS Color. I've got, I think, 6 t-shirts from them. This, I got it when I was in Europe because I was traveling really light, if you see my packing video, and I only brought 1 hoodie with me, and I accidentally left it at my friend's house in Belgium. Luckily, AS Color was doing a really good sale, and this only cost me, it was £5 or £10. And it did the job. It got me through the rest of the trip, but I've been back for a year and a half now, and I just find myself constantly avoiding wearing this because it really has very little give. I just wanna roll my sleeves up, let my forearms cool a bit, you know? How do I... Just putting that back on again really solidified the fact that I do not want to keep this hoodie. Similar story with this hoodie. I really like how it looks, but it is tight. It's tight. Anyway, whoa. Similar story with these Nike shorts. Once they're on, they actually fit fine, but they have no stretch to them. They're, I don't know what you call this, parachute material. I'm so good at fashion. But I cracked these out to wear them yesterday just to decide if I wanted to keep them or not. I thought I'd give them another try. And then I accidentally wore them to the gym, and it was leg day. And they were shit for squats and deadlifts and everything leg related. They were just constantly, they were too tight. So goodbye. Sometimes when you're not sure about whether you want to keep something or not, just put it on again and then see what your gut says. Because my gut to all of these is like, get rid of them sofort. Back to day 8, 1 pair of jeans, 2 coffee loyalty cards from a cafe that I used to go to all the time but haven't been to in a couple of years. Screw the sunk cost fallacy, I'm just gonna get rid of them. And finally, this divider thing, which I believe came from a protein shaker, but I've never used it. Day 9, 1 empty Amazon box to put everything in, 2 shoes, which I absolutely wore into the ground. If you live in Australia and you're wondering what to do with old shoes, you can actually drop them off at certain Rebel sports stores and they recycle them for you. 1 T2 tin, 1 snowman model kit that my boss got me for Christmas, and then we've got some random things. A USB protector thing, a token from a board game, I guess, a pin thing, and a wire tie thing. That's 9 things, and then I can chuck all previous days in here too. Day 10, 1 Mickey Mouse mouse pad that I got from a trip to Hong Kong Disneyland in 2009. I've thought about getting rid of it multiple times, and then whenever I go to do it, I think, but it's from Disneyland. But I've never used it, and I don't even have a mouse, I have a trackpad. It's time to finally let it go. 3 very expired spices. I know they're probably still fine, but I've had these for at least 3 years because they're 3 years expired, and I have hardly used them at all. 1 Lego Harry Potter collector sheet, 2 little plastic bags, another micro SD and card reader, and 1 charcoal peel off face mask, which I've avoided using because my skin doesn't actually like it. Day 11. I absolutely love this tank from AS Color and I wore it all summer, but long story short, I was trying to mix up a big jar of peanut butter from Costco, managed to get peanut butter all over myself, and then I ruined it trying to get the oil stains out. So, time to let it go. 1 expired sunscreen, an adhesive for attaching window film, 1 dog cone. I don't even have a dog, and I asked my brother and it's not his dog, so I don't even know how I ended up with this. 1 bulldog clip, 1 lid for something, 2 old toothbrushes, 2 of these, and 1 set of instructions for building an outside table, which is already built. Just when I thought things might start to get a bit difficult, I found my stack of HelloFresh recipe cards. Some of these are actually great and I have gone back and used them to remake recipes, but many of them I have never touched again. Plus a bunch of promotional stuff that ended up in the drawer as well. So, day 12, 13, and 14, 39 HelloFresh and Marley Spoon recipe cards. Day 15, 6 more recipes and 9 promotional things. With 15 days successfully in the bag, or more specifically in the box, I thought now's the perfect time to do a halfway check-in. But although I'm halfway through the days, I'm only about a quarter of the way through the stuff that I'm gonna cull. So things are definitely starting to slow down. It's getting more difficult to find things to cull already, which maybe does not bode well for me. Don't get me wrong, I think this game is fantastic. It's a really, really good way to push past some of those mental barriers. Probably the recovering hoarder in me can still get a bit stuck on stuff mentally, like if it's like a little bit sentimental or like maybe not easy to replace if I decided down the road that I want to replace it. I don't know, too messy up here, too noisy. Get rid of some stuff, less noisy. So with the game, I've just found that I've been able to chuck stuff in the box, get rid of it, and that decision is a lot easier. So I'm about to do my 16 items for day 16, and immediately after that, I'm gonna head to my parents' place because I'm going there for Easter. I might just have to catch up on a bunch of days when I get back, but that's gonna be pretty rough because it's gonna be like days 17 through 27 or something like that. Like, that's a lot of stuff. Well, sucks for future me. But I will try to do a bit of a cull at my parents' place too. That's where I put all my stuff when I moved to the UK, and I do still have some stuff there, and I'll catch up on everything else when I get back. Wish me luck. Goodbye. Day 16. 2 napkins, 3 expired packs of chili from Marley Spoon, 1 lot of HelloFresh referral codes, 1 how to vote sheet, I know how to vote, 1 refresher wipe from a plane, which has probably been in my backpack for 2 or 3 years, 1 soy sauce packet, and 7 soy sauce fish. Day 17. 4 more well-expired herbs, 1 expired box of COVID tests, 1 used mask, 1 body lotion that I never used and I don't know where it came from, 1 3-in-1 charger, 1 bag of Haribo from my Euro trip in 2023, which has been in my backpack so long they have all melted together into one congealed mess. Yummy! 1 skipping rope, 1 empty box, 1 hay fever tablet, which I accidentally opened and then didn't want to waste, so it's just been sitting on my shelf, but now it's been sitting there so long that I no longer trust it. These 2 things, 1 bobby pin, and 2 packets of rock salt. Day 18. Pretty much the entire Shadowhunter series. This is a series that I read once, and realistically, I am never going to reread them, so time for them to go to a new home. And the first 2 series of Unfortunate Events books. Day 19. 1 cookie recipe jar. My friends and I did a make a Christmas present Christmas exchange, so my friend gave me a cookie recipe in a jar, and I finally baked them. After which I gave the jar to my mum. Then I've got 6 Feist books, which I ended up selling, 2 more books, which I'll never read again. This one I donated, and this one I gave to a friend. A beaten up old deck box, 2 shoes, which I pretty much never wore, 1 old hard drive, which died about 10 years ago, and I held on to because I thought I might get the data back up at one day, but I'm never gonna do that. And the box and manual for its replacement, 1 keyring bottle opener, 2 broken bike pumps, but I threw the second one out before remembering this video, 1 bulldog clip, and 1 puncture repair kit, which I think came from one of those old mobile phone blow-up chair holders, which I definitely don't have anymore. Day 20, 4 pop vinyl figures. I used to have about 40 of these things. 1 calculator from when I was studying science at uni, 1 soft toy cloud, which I held onto all this time because my friend sent it to me as part of a care package when I lived in London, which was very sweet of them, but I don't need to keep this toy as a reminder of our friendship because I see them all the time, we're still very good friends, and I probably don't need a soft toy at this age. 2 installation CDs, old school, 1 instruction manual, 1 USB Wi-Fi adapter, 1 mini USB cable, another toothbrush, 4 pairs of undies, 2 socks, and 1 eraser. Day 21. I got this Kathmandu backpack as a birthday present, which is a good idea because I do like hiking, but I literally went on a 4-day solid hiking tour and I didn't bring it with me, so if I didn't use it then, I never will. I ended up selling it for $60 on Marketplace. 1 gemstone necklace. And 19 old documents / pieces of paper. Day 22. 8 more papers, 2 face washes, a Lush Revive hair moisturizer, very expired, 1 H&M jumper which I never wore because I don't like how it fits, 1 singular glove. I really liked these gloves, but I lost its pair years ago, and I've stubbornly been holding onto this one, assuming that as soon as I get rid of it, the other one will show up. But I've done so many clear outs now and I've never found it, so it must be lost to time forever. 2 shoelaces, 1 video game I'll never play, 1 bag from a dressing gown that I wore as part of a bridal party for my best friend's wedding. The actual gown somebody stole on the day, so I don't need to keep the bag. It's not coming back. 1 Calvin Klein cologne. I don't wear cologne. 1 box from my Snap universal charger. 1 beanie, which I like, but I have 2 other beanies. I don't need 3. 1 Pokemon battle disc and the box that it came in. Day 23. This is where my geek really starts to show. 1 Nintendo 64 controller for the Nintendo Switch, which my friend has offered to buy, 2 PS3 controllers, 2 video game figures, 1 Magic Mouse, which I got for a really good price, but I have a Magic Trackpad, so I never used it. This one I sold on eBay for close to its full retail price, so that was pretty good. 1 insurance manual for a credit card that I don't have anymore, 1 pair of Primark gym shorts, which I used to death, 1 jumper my parents gave me, which honestly, I think it looks nice, it just doesn't look good on me. 1 manual and box for my hard drive, 1 mini Harry Potter wand and display stand, which I've sentimentally been holding on to because a good friend of mine got it for me when I left the UK. But much like the soft toy from earlier, my friendship with him is not dependent on keeping this physical object. And actually, he's an incredible artist and I've got some of his artwork up on my bedroom wall, so I don't need the wand if I've got that. 8 of these cardboard Pokemon things, another Anytime Fitness fob, this one very old, and a button for something. Day 24. A whole bunch of papers from my files, which I do not need anymore. Day 25. 6 photos, 1 hair tie and hair tie case, 1 old healthcare card, 6 files, 1 micro USB cord, and 6 more papers. So now, presently, I'm on day 26. I have 5 days left, which seems like, I'm really on the home stretch now. But now I'm looking around my little room and I'm thinking, I've got another 140 items to get rid of. Ooh. But then I remembered the garage. Ankle weights. I don't even know where I got these. I think they were my brother's. Had these for 10 years, never used them. A real mix of stuff from the garage. 9 assorted boxes. 3 broken paintbrushes, 1 old cup that I used for paint water, and the packaging for the paintbrushes. Don't know why I kept either of those. The 2 ankle weights, 1 tripod and case, 1 terrarium jar, 1 Wi-Fi adapter or something, 1 installation CD, 1 sticker sheet, 1 broken wheel of something, 1 takeaway bag from Rolled, and 2 dog toys from when my brother's dog was a puppy and I used to dog sit him, but he's an old grumpy man now, so he doesn't play with toys. These are now well loved with my friend's sister's Kelpie puppy. Day 27. 7 Kingdom Hearts minifigures, plus 2 of their original boxes, 16 magnets, 1 box for the microphone that I'm using right now, and 1 instruction manual. Day 28. 3 empty figure boxes, 4 Pokemon activity things, 3 pop-up Pokemon deck boxes, 2 pot plant boxes, 3 Apple boxes, their manuals, and 1 Apple sticker, 1 defective iPhone 7, 4 SIM ejector tools, 1 zinc, ointment, wart removal stick, and aloe vera that are all expired, and 1 dead air plant. I was stubbornly holding on to this air plant because I didn't want to admit that it was dead. But it is most certainly dead, so I think I need to let it go. Day 29, the penultimate day. Not gonna lie, I very nearly gave up here. I was really struggling with my final 59 items, and I was starting to think, damn, am I actually gonna have to give up on my second last day? That would suck. But then I went back through my filing drawer and found a file that I'd misread, full of things that I don't need anymore, like manuals for appliances that we haven't had in years. I also found 4 gin mixing guides, 2 more expired tubes, 1 old soap holder, 2 remotes, and lastly, 1 case for my Snap universal charger and 3 power adapters. I can't actually use any of these adapters anymore because one of the prongs broke off on my actual charger, and the case was always too bulky, so I never used it. Final day. I just counted all the items I've thrown together from my final cull, going through everything. I think I'm at my limit. Exactly 30 items. Feels good. Feels good. Day 30. 1 suit jacket, pants, hanger, and suit bag. This suit served me really well throughout all the different balls and parties at uni where I had to wear a suit, but it's just not a good fit on me anymore. 1 pink tee from AS Color. This one's just not the right shape for my skin. 1 active tee, 1 shirt, 2 socks that I always avoid wearing because I don't like ankle socks, 1 PS4 game, 1 box which had been holding a Dyson accessory for the last 3 years and I've only just taken it out, 1 phone that I bought as a secondary phone when I was going to move to New Zealand, and 1 bank card I got there as well. Long story short, those plans got dashed by a certain pandemic and I'm not planning to move anymore. 1 credit card that I recently cancelled, 1 instruction manual on how to wall mount a Dyson, which I've already wall mounted, 1 promotional flyer, 1 button from Lord knows what, and 1 little bag, 1 magnet, 1 extension for a light strip, 2 really old coins, which I'm not sure where they came from or what to do with them, 1 Christmas hair tie, 1 broken garage remote, 1 Nintendo DS game, which I have a double of, 4 coins totaling €2.53, and finally, 1 pair of really worn out Nikes. And that's it. 30 items. Now, let's see it all together. Here it is. Over 465 items successfully culled. And this isn't even all of it because I have been throwing out or recycling some things as I've gone, and I have been giving away certain things to friends if they're interested when I see them. But just seeing it all laid out around me is quite shocking because in my mind, I don't have that much stuff. And if I look at my room or the kitchen or the garage, it doesn't look that different. How much stuff can you really fit in? It's kind of crazy. And when I look at it all laid out here, I'm so glad that I did this challenge because it really pushed me to get rid of stuff that I was somewhat on the fence about. Stuff that I probably would have just kept being like, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. I had that strict time limit to actually make a decision. And this really helped me to actually bite the bullet and get rid of them. Feels good, not gonna lie, feels real good. I was elated when I finished last night. It's like 10:30 p.m. on the 30th of April, and I've just finished. Feels good. I'm so relieved that I actually finished this challenge and did all 30 days. There was definitely a moment on day 29 when I only had about 3 items that I wanted to cull, and I thought, the difficulty of this game has increased. This is now hard mode. And in the end, I ended up having a couple of extra items too. And now I get to go through the fun task of actually throwing out the stuff that needs to go in the bin, recycling the things that can be recycled, piling up the things to donate and dropping them off at an op shop or one of those donation bins, and piling up the stuff that I need to start listing on eBay and Marketplace. Oh, wish me luck. I'll check in with some final thoughts and some updates once I start organizing things. So I found even more things to add to the selling list, and oh man, it is an absolute time sink. I've just looked at the time and realized that I've been essentially just taking photos of everything for 1 hour and 45 minutes. Anyway, the positive thing about Facebook Marketplace is that you don't have to deal with postage and they don't take a fee. Obviously eBay has to make money, but it can be a lot sometimes. It can really add up. So if you can sell the Marketplace, that's good, but Marketplace, you know? Wish me luck.
Later.
So everything's been on eBay for at least 7 weeks. So I've decided that everything that has had no interest so far, I'm gonna donate. The time has come. I feel like it's always right when I'm about to quit and just say, screw it, I'm donating everything. I just want it out of my house, that things actually sell. So I just sold 2 more things. This cologne, which I'm getting ready to package up and take to the post office now, and a set of Game of Thrones pop figures, which haven't actually been paid for yet. So hopefully they actually pay for it. Together, $60, $50 after the eBay tax, and it all adds up. I've made nearly $600 from selling things online now across eBay and Facebook Marketplace. So pretty happy with that actually. And I did not expect this, but I actually have even more things to donate now because since finishing the challenge, I have just come across extra things that I want to get rid of, which somehow completely flew under my radar while I was scouring the house for things to get rid of. You think that you're really in the zone and you're getting rid of a bunch of stuff and you're like, wow, I'm really scraping the bottom of the barrel here. But then you come back a month later and you're like, actually, that was a false bottom to this barrel. There is more barrel. The barrel keeps going. There's barrels all the way down. Like, I'm sure that if I go into the garage in another month's time or 2 months' time, I'm gonna be like, there's actually a bunch more stuff in here that I can get rid of. So it's weird. Anyway, this video is getting kind of long and I should probably wrap it up. So I just want to finish by saying, if you're thinking about doing the minimalist game, thinking about challenging yourself to get rid of some crap, absolutely do it. It's the best thing that I've done in terms of minimalism in probably the last 4 or 5 years. It's just so much more efficient. It's so motivating and energizing each step of the way. It just helps you to cut through so much mental clutter and get things sorted that you've been thinking about getting sorted for a long time, but you just need that little extra bit of ignition to keep going. It's good. Do it. I dare ya. So yeah, 10 out of 10. Probably will do again. Alright, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, if you got something from it, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. You can click on my face to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye!